Mid-May 2025, an eerie rumor swept through an industrial town in Texas, a tale so chilling it sent shivers down the spines of factory workers pulling late-night shifts. The legend spoke of an old woman with razor-sharp fangs who preyed on unsuspecting victims in the dead of night. It all started near the outskirts of Austin, where a woman allegedly sought employment at a factory on the edge of a desolate highway. When management rejected her, something sinister began to unfold. Night after night, shadowy figures reported seeing a hunched woman lurking near the dimly lit streets, her eyes glowing in the darkness, waiting. Whispers of missing women, their remains found gnawed and stripped of flesh, sent the entire town into a panic. As the fear spread, the town descended into paranoia. Factory workers refused to leave alone, carpooling even for the shortest distances. Families barricaded themselves indoors at sundown. Rumors flared like wildfire, each more terrifying than the last. Some claimed to have heard unholy shrieks echoing through the empty alleyways. Others swore they saw something, not quite human, perched atop street lamps, grinning with a mouthful of jagged teeth. Drawn by the mystery, a journalist known for investigating urban legends arrived on the scene. On May 22nd, he stopped by a small roadside diner just off Interstate 35. The moment he entered, conversations hushed. The waitress, a woman with wary eyes, asked in a hushed voice, "You're waiting for your wife's shift to end, right?" Before he could respond, she launched into the story, voice trembling with superstition. "People say she looks like any old woman during the day, but at night she changes. Her shadow twists into something unnatural, and she only hunts young women, especially those wearing red." A group of men at a nearby table leaned in. "We've been hearing the stories for weeks now," one of them admitted. "My wife believes every word. She won't even step outside without me anymore." Then his voice dropped, almost as if afraid the creature itself might be listening. "Some folks say she's not from around here, that she came from deep in the swamps of Louisiana. One guy swears he saw her carrying a baby, but when he got closer, she hurled it into the dirt and vanished into the cypress trees." Over in a rural settlement near the riverbanks, residents had even more terrifying accounts. A man who worked security at the factory swore that when she applied for a job, she refused to remove her scarf. When pressed, she hesitated before finally pulling it down, revealing a mouth full of serrated fangs. The guards, paralyzed with horror, watched as she hissed, her pupils narrowing to slits. Some claimed they fainted on the spot. Yet when the journalist pressed the current security team, they denied everything. "Never happened. Must be just another ghost story." The local sheriff tried to quell the hysteria, dismissing it as mass panic. Folks have a way of turning shadows into monsters, he said. Ain't nobody seen no real proof. But the fear refused to die. Every night, the legend grew more grotesque, more horrifying. Some claimed she could smell blood from miles away. Others said she could phase through walls, her talons scraping against wooden floors as she searched for prey. Was she real? A demon disguised as a woman? Or just another fabrication spun from fear? No one knew for sure. But one thing was certain. The town no longer belonged to its people. It belonged to the terror that stalked the streets after dark. And